Hello, sport fan. This is Stephen Hill for Sports Choice Plus, and I'm bringing you a very special breakdown. I'm going to be covering the top 10 off-season quarterback moves. Before I get right into that, make sure you subscribe right now to the YouTube channel so you can get all the updates each and every time we have breakdowns here at Sports Choice Plus. Without further ado, let's get right into it. With an off-season that's probably going to be one of the biggest that we've ever seen in the history of the game, you're looking at the quarterback position now more than ever having so much uncertainty. And you're looking just at 10 potential quarterbacks that could swing the pendulum. It doesn't matter from the AFC to the NFC or vice versa. So this list here is going to be 10 guys that could very well, faces we know, that could be changing places and playing for different teams as early as next year. We're going to start this list off at number 10. I'm looking at Dak Prescott. I have him at 10, even though this is not a ranking of how good these quarterbacks are. A number 10 right now because you don't know what you're going to get from Dak because of the injury. There is a big market, and we've seen with Andy Dalton not playing well and the rest of the collective cast that they have at quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, we see that the quarterback position in Dallas is very much still a premium, and in the NFL at that. You saw how Andy Dalton struggled. It didn't matter who struggled behind the quarterback in that offense. And it just goes to show you Dak held that offense together pretty well, and he performed pretty well. And that just team seeing how this struggle is happening, that not only is going to get the attention of the Dallas Cowboys, but it also is going to get the attention of other teams. When you have a quarterback that is likely going to be franchised and he's not going to get a deal that he wants, you could see other teams slowly start to creep in and the asking price be so high for Dak that the Cowboys are just like, you know what, we'll just go with a cheaper route. We'll just tough it out, try to find another quarterback for this year. And I think that their relationship has soured to the point where Dak is not going to forget all those things that were said in the media that leaked out because of Stephen Jones or Jerry Jones or people in the Cowboys organization. Dak heard every single word of that. His brother heard every single word of that. And as you know, sometimes it gets a little personal in negotiations in the NFL. So I think Dak may be moving on. I don't know if it's just going to be in the NFC or if he's getting a lot more attention from the AFC, but we have heard one name come up time and time again, and that has been the Washington football team has kept popping up in a lot of different reports. So keep your eyes peeled for them because they could be dark horses to win his services. Coming in at number 9, you're looking at Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston not only is a wild card in this whole thing, but you look at the Saints with Drew Brees possibly retiring and having Taysom Hill there, you don't know which way that they'll go. You don't know if they're going to pay Taysom Hill as a quarterback or let him still be paid as a running back / wide receiver / tight end, whatever he's playing at that point. So Sean Payton has not come out and made a statement and said we want Jameis to be our starting quarterback. We're still under the impression that Drew Brees may come back a little bit. You know, he may retire. You never know. So it's still up in the air, but either way it goes, Jameis Winston has sat on the bench and learned behind Drew Brees. Sean Payton, he didn't get a big time to play this year when Drew Brees was hurt, which I thought was going to happen because Taysom Hill took those snaps. But it just goes to show you, I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. I know one thing, Jameis Winston does have the arm talent to play in the NFL. It's just he may have to prove himself to get on a starting position at this point due to his past transgressions and also issues with playing in Tampa, not really producing. Coming at number 8, this is going to be a tough one because Cam Newton, I believe physically can start in the NFL still. I don't think he got a pretty good deal in New England. When you look at everything that's going on with the pandemic and things like that, he didn't have a training camp. He was signed late. He didn't have all of his offensive weapons. It just was not a lot in the cupboard offensively for us to accurately judge Cam Newton. Besides that very first game against Seattle, where he played the ball, played well, threw the ball pretty well, and did so many different things, that's the only game I really feel like we've got a full sample size of Cam. I don't think he ever really felt comfortable till the last part of the year, but by then he didn't have a lot of weapons left to throw to. So he was throwing to a lot of practice squad guys we never heard of. So the timing wasn't there. All the premium weapons that he normally would have in a normal situation in New England were not there. So he's struggling with a supporting cast, and I don't think he really got a fair offseason to really show what he can do. and show his talents, his leadership. But Cam, unfortunately, may be moving on. It may be a backup role that he has to take, but he will probably be moving on. Coming in number 7, this is no fault of his own, but when Deshaun Watson said the New York Jets are my number 1 trade destination, Sam Darnold, you might as well go ahead and pack up your condo in New York and start looking for a different place to live. Sam Darnold right now is in a bad situation because Deshaun Watson wants to be where he is, in New York in a Jets uniform. He's come out and made that clear. His people have come out and made that clear. It's only a matter of time before either the Dolphins get in this, other teams get in this, or the Jets actually trade for him. I think Sam Darnold is still a good young quarterback. He just had Adam Gase as a head coach and basically offensive coordinator at the same time. And it didn't really bode well for him because he destroyed the team. He didn't really do anything to improve Sam's accuracy or help him with anything. It just looked like Sam was out there winging it for most of the stuff. The Jets pulled away all their pieces as well. So you can't really accurately judge where Sam Darnold is because their NFL caliber of starting weapons is not the same as you would a division winner or any other team in the league because they basically sold away all their talent to get draft picks. That's why I feel. But overall, I think Sam Darnold will have a chance. If he can get to the 49ers or if he can get to a team that potentially could need another quarterback, Jimmy G, they're not really sold on Jimmy G right now. So I think Sam Darnold could have a small market where his services are warranted and wanted. He possibly could end up in a trade with Indy. So you never know what could happen with Sam Darnold in that, but that's what I feel for number 7. Number 6, Jimmy G with the San Francisco 49ers. This is really only 2 reasons. Jimmy G stays hurt, and Jimmy G is not producing in big games. When you look at the games that he is there for, the 49ers are a pretty good team, but the defense gives them a lot of help. So that's why these numbers are staggered, and that's why you see a lot of success on his numbers, because you have Bosa and company. You had all these guys last year that really produced, made them hot, made them a Super Bowl team, and they got to the Super Bowl, and you saw him slowly sputter in the second half of that Super Bowl. He could not put Patrick Mahomes and company out of the Super Bowl, and because they were down 21-10 and were able to come back on the 49ers, it looks real bad for Jimmy G. It just looks real bad in general. I don't think Bill Belichick ever wanted to trade him in the first place. He had to choose between Tom Brady and Jimmy G. And you're seeing exactly Kyle Shanahan maybe, his patience may be up with Jimmy G and his injuries. So while I think he's a great person, Jimmy G is going to have to go out of the 49ers camp because he can't stay healthy. Coming in at number 5, you're looking at Carson Wentz. Philadelphia Eagles are in win-now mode, basically. They have a pretty good team, and I don't think that they're going to be able to win a Super Bowl no time soon, but they have to get their act together, and Carson Wentz right now is entering into the prime of his career. He's entering into the best years of his physical peak for football, and I think that the relationship was damaged with Coach Peterson and him, and right now Jeffrey Lurie and company are trying to figure out exactly what's going to work for this team. It doesn't matter if it's, Jalen Hurts. It doesn't matter if it's Carson Wentz. They have to figure out who's the starting quarterback and move on from the other, because you can't have 2 different quarterbacks in one locker room that are strain the locker room, that are strain the relationship with the team, and that will furthermore create separation. So if you want to get on track and possibly put a winning product on the field, you have to make a choice, Philly. And I think, they're going to try to keep him there and probably get rid of Jalen. But I think that right now you have to make a move if you're a Philly, and it's keeping Carson Wentz under contract. Coming in at number 4, you're looking at Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is the prize for the Detroit Lions. He was drafted, I believe, in 2009, first overall pick for the franchise. And he's been a model citizen of consistency. He played hurt. He played with injuries. You've seen him play with broken collarbone and things like that. He came in through the game-winning touchdown. He's really been a model citizen for that Lions organization. At this time, they've agreed and said, it's time for us to go our different ways. Matthew Stafford does not want to be a part of another rebuild. And I think there's going to be a lot of suitors available for him. Matthew Stafford is a hell of a quarterback, still has an arm on him, and he still has enough juice to get it done for a team that wants to go to a Super Bowl. If you're a Super Bowl contender and you're just a piece away, look at Matthew Stafford. He can definitely help your wide receivers, tight ends, and running backs improve in a lot of different ways. Coming in at number 3, Matt Ryan. The Atlanta Falcons probably are going to start rebuilding. It's only a matter of time before they think about getting rid of Julio because of his age, but Matt Ryan would be a prime candidate to get a couple of draft picks back from. a quarterback that's in his 30s, late 30s, and they're probably going to have to start looking for a starting quarterback because he's not going to be playing too much longer in Atlanta. It's only a matter of time. It doesn't matter if it's an injury. It doesn't matter if it's production. The Falcons are rebuilding at this point, and I think we all know what's going on with that. Coming in number 2, Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson wants out of Texans organization. He no longer wants to be in Houston, and you have suitors everywhere. He has a no-trade clause, so that limits where he can actually go, and he's come out and said the Jets and the Dolphins are his 2 prime locations of choice. So I think this is huge. The Jets, he's your guy to lose. Put together a package, get him out of there, get Sam Darnold out of there as well. Swap quarterbacks, if you will, or send a different pick for Sam Darnold to get other compensation. But this is a guy that you have to get. If you can get a generational quarterback like Deshaun Watson, you do that. You see all the tape and years of footage that you have, not only from college to NFL. He's been a winner at every single level. It doesn't matter what the Texans were doing on defense. You can always count on Deshaun Watson to try to have you in football games late and try to help you win football games as well. That's a big part of that organization's history for the last 3 or 4 years, and Deshaun Watson is the big part of that. You trade for talent like that. I would trade whatever I need to trade to get Deshaun Watson to lead my team as my quarterback. Coming in number 1, he basically stirred up the pot after the game when they lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Rodgers. It's not clear that the Packers are going to trade him yet, but the way he's talking, it's full-on hostage situation. He's holding the organization hostage, and I don't think it's going to get pretty anytime soon. The general manager and also the head coach are chiming in, and it doesn't sound like everybody's on the same page here. I know it could just be emotions from him losing the NFC Championship game to Tampa and being upset, but drafting Jordan Love and putting basically Aaron Rodgers on the clock doesn't sit well with Aaron Rodgers. He does not like that. It bothers him. You can tell when he's asked questions about Jordan Love, he's kind of irked by it because he has to deal with, okay, this is my potential replacement, and they're grooming him in front of me, similar to like what they did with Brett Favre. So these are my top 10 quarterback potential moves that could shake up 2021. Let me know. Get in the comment section. Did I miss anything? Did I miss any guys that should be in there? Definitely check us out each and every week on the NFL channel. Definitely make sure if you got suggestions for a video, put it in the comment section as well. I thank you for definitely choosing me, and we'll see you next week.